It's Hailey Reese and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am so excited that you are here and I hope that you are having an absolutely fantastic morning, afternoon, or night, whatever it should be for you when this video finally reaches you. Today's video is getting us into the spooky Christmas spirit because we are going to be talking about an extremely haunted doll that was accidentally gifted as a Christmas gift. I always find it so interesting when joyful times of the year or beautiful occasions turn absolutely spooky, but it would not be my channel if we didn't cover at least one creepy, scary Christmas story. So here we are. Once again, before we continue on with today's video, I would just very quickly like to remind you guys that my spiritual and crystal shop, Crystal Clarity, is having a 25% off sale. All you have to do is use code HOLIDAY at checkout. And for today only, we are also offering handwritten letters from me with every single order placed, no matter how big or small the order is. I'm so excited for you guys to receive your orders, and honestly, I'm even more excited to just handwrite some things for you. It brings me so much joy to do that. And yeah, so I'm super excited. I will have it linked at the very top of my description box for you. And without further ado, let's get into today's terrifying encounter. This story begins with an innocent grandmother who wanted to make her granddaughter's Christmas absolutely magical. Her granddaughter, like most children, actually really enjoyed playing with dolls, and she would collect the dolls. It said that this little girl was one who could tell the differences between dolls. She didn't just like all dolls because they were dolls. She liked the unique parts of dolls. Dolls with different hairstyles or dolls with different facial expressions, she really appreciated all of her dolls for different reasons. Now, her grandmother around this time of year in the story was really on a budget. She'd been going through a really difficult time and she was stressing a little bit as to how she was going to get the perfect gift for her one and only grandchild at an affordable price. So she decided, instead of going and buying something completely brand new, she would go around to like all of the secondhand stores and try to find like a hidden gem. You know what they say, one man's junk or trash is another man's treasure. So she was going into it with the hopes that she'd be able to find like the perfect, special, unique doll for her granddaughter at like a fraction of the cost. Now at first, she wasn't so lucky. She was going from place to place and didn't seem to find anything good. A lot of the toys were either super old or they were stained or they didn't have like a good smell to them. And while she did want to get it at a good price and a good deal, she also didn't want to just give her granddaughter just anything. She was actually about to give up on her hunt for the day when she spotted a brand new looking like secondhand store that she'd actually never seen in their town before. So she decided to pull over and give it one final shot and see if she could find something there. So she's looking through the store and she's kind of like got her eye on a few different things, and that's when she sees what she describes as the most unique, beautiful doll sitting on the shelf that was so well done, so well painted, that it was almost as though it looked like it was really looking at you. She said the doll was actually a pretty big doll, had what looked to be like hair so beautiful it was almost human-like, and a painted on expression that looked like the doll was actually looking straight at you. The moment that she saw the doll, she said that she just knew she had to have it, that her granddaughter would absolutely adore the doll. So she grabs the doll down from the shelf and notices there's no price tag on the doll. She's a little bit confused by this, but goes to the cash anyway and asks the girl, "What is this doll worth? Like, how much is this doll?" The girl was a little confused, so she went to go and get her manager, and they were actually kind of shocked because it seemed as though the doll wasn't even processed like into their store. When things would come in, they would label them with a price right away, and this doll didn't have the sticker with the price, nor had anybody actually seen the doll. They were all pretty surprised that the doll was actually from the store. The manager was apologizing for the inconvenience of the whole ordeal, and because there was no price on it, he just decided to sell the doll to her for $5. The grandma left the store on cloud nine, thinking that she had just scored the best Christmas gift for her granddaughter and at the low price of just $5, and she was so excited to gift the doll to her granddaughter. The doll was in the grandmother's house for around a week before she would be gifting it to the little girl, and during this time, absolutely nothing strange was happening. The doll seemed like just a normal doll, and nothing seemed to be out of the ordinary. So Christmas rolls around, and she is so excited to gift her the doll. Now, when the little girl opened up the present, immediately she shrieked with joy. She was so excited about the doll. But in time, things would take a very interesting turn. The little girl started to talk to her doll in a way that her mom had never heard her talk to her dolls before. It was like when she was talking to the doll, she was gapping between what she would say next, as if someone else was actually speaking back. Prior to this, when she would talk to her dolls, she would just talk to them and not really have like a response time. And what her mom found interesting was that depending on the length of the question, the longer the little girl sat there, seeming to hear the doll answering her. Now, the little girl and this doll had the most incredible bond. Another thing her mom found kind of strange was that she stopped playing with her other dolls. And remember, I told you at the beginning, this little girl was one who appreciated all of her dolls, not just one of them. She equally played with every single one of her dolls. So when her mom finally asked her why she wasn't playing with the other dolls, she looked down sad and looked back up and told her mom that this new doll doesn't like it when she plays with the other ones, and she's only allowed to play with this doll. The little girl's attachment to the doll became almost unhealthy. If they would leave the house and go somewhere that she wasn't allowed to bring the doll, she would freak out. And eventually she even told her parents that they would pay for leaving the doll behind. And when they asked her more about it, she said that's what the doll told her to say. At first, they thought that these were just ridiculous, empty threats, but it was completely out of their daughter's character. She was never a kid to threaten her parents, and she also never was like this with any other doll. But one night, after having to leave the doll at home while they went to a dinner party, the mother would have a dream of the doll coming to life and attacking her, so that the doll started scratching her and screaming at her and saying all of these horrible, vulgar things. And when she woke up from the dream, she had red marks all over her body, but the doll was nowhere in sight. These types of events kept on happening every single time the doll would have to be left at home. Her parents actually thought they were going literally insane, because every single time that the doll would have to be left at home, or the little girl was told she wasn't allowed to play with it, they would have these horrible nightmares or wake up feeling like they couldn't breathe, and every single time it's centered around this doll. Eventually, they decided that they had to get rid of the doll, and they did do so. But for years, they wondered what on earth could have happened. Years later, the mom actually went to go and see a medium for a reading on her life, and that was when the medium disclosed to her that the doll that had been in their possession was actually a doll with a dark entity inside of it, that the doll had been left somewhere before it was brought into their home by somebody who could not handle the doll anymore. Which would explain why the store had never seen the doll and why there was no price tag on it. Her family believes that the doll was placed there in the store for someone else to take it because nobody wanted that doll. Now, after the doll was gotten rid of, the little girl was upset, but eventually went back to normal and things in their house seemed to settle. But to this day, they have no idea the origin of the doll, how the entity got inside of the doll, and what it wanted with their daughter. But even deeper than that, they have no idea where the doll ended up, because they too donated it. Well, you guys, that is the end of this Christmas haunted doll story. It is interesting to think about how many people may be gifted something that has a darker side to it. It puts a whole new perspective on thrifting for me when I hear stories like this, because you truly don't know the origins of the items that you're purchasing and you don't know what could be in them. So that leaves me with a question for you guys. Have you guys ever received a gift or an item that you feel as though had something attached to it, or maybe a little bit of a darker history to it? I would absolutely love to know down in the comment section below. And that is it for today's video. If you guys are new to my channel, or you are just not yet subscribed but you do enjoy my content, I would seriously love it more than you will ever know if you go ahead and click that subscribe button. And please give this video a big thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Remember, my loves, do all things with kindness. And until next time, I love you.